Join Walking Baseball Encyclopedia Paul Francis Sullivan, please call him Sully, every day on Locked On MLB for a unique look at the majors both present and past. Featuring exciting guest interviews and routine check-ins from the Locked On MLB Network's team of local experts. Subscribe to Locked On today on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. It's August 23rd, 2021. I'm Stacey Gatsoulias, the host of Locked On Yankees, and we don't have a game to talk about from yesterday, but we do have the other games of the weekend to discuss. The Yankees beat the Twins both on Friday and Saturday before Sunday was rained out. And we will have a preview of the Atlanta series, which actually features a matchup that is rare. And I'll explain to you why. But first, you can get this podcast by subscribing on YouTube. You can listen in Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, Odyssey, or wherever you get podcasts. And you can play this podcast on your special device like Alexa. I don't want to say her name because she might go off. I have her in my room. But if you say play podcast Locked On Yankees, it'll play for you, hopefully, if it's working correctly. So yeah, the Yankees had a good weekend against Minnesota. And I will say, Friday and Saturday's games were much better for my anxiety. It's actually enjoyable to watch the Yankees beat a team by more than 2 runs. Didn't do that on Thursday against the Twins, even though they had a 6-run lead at one point. And Friday, they exploded for 10 runs. Saturday, they scored 7 behind Garrett Cole. And again, Sunday rained out because of a tropical storm or hurricane that turned into a tropical storm. And, you know, it was a good idea that they did that because it was pretty rainy yesterday and there was no way that they could have put that game in. So, yeah, it was a good series for the Yankees as usual because they always have good series against the Twins. Poor Twins. The Twins were probably, I mean, I hate to say this, but they were probably relieved that they didn't have to face the Yankees on Saturday. They were probably thankful for the rain that was incoming and thought to themselves, yeah, let's just get the hell out of New York and away from the Yankees. So the makeup game for this one will be September 13th. Now that's important because that would have been the one off day that they had in the midst of this September run that they're scheduled for. So instead, they're going to be playing 20 straight days. Now, the good thing is, or what could be the good thing, the 3 games scheduled after that Minnesota makeup game are against Baltimore. And as of right now, I believe the Orioles are on a 19-game losing streak. Is it 18 or 19? Whatever it is, it's really bad. Let me just double check because I want to make sure I got the number right, but whatever it is. And the funny thing about that, let's mention that. The Orioles have not won a game since that cat appeared on the field at Yankee Stadium. So people are joking that it's the curse of that cat. Meanwhile, the Yankees have gone, I believe, 16-3 since that cat appeared on the field at Yankee Stadium. It's 18. That's still bad. Wow. 18-game losing streak. Oh, here's the other thing. Okay. I talk about run differential, right? Yankees run differential right now is at plus 43. The Orioles are at minus 233. Which isn't surprising because they're not good. But the Dodgers are at plus 204 compared to the Orioles. And even, let's see, the Astros. Oh, no, they're not above. Okay, they're only at plus 184. And the other bad thing about the Orioles is they are now the worst team in the majors. They surpassed the Arizona Diamondbacks, who were sitting in that position for a while. Arizona is actually 42-83 on the year. Baltimore is 38-85. Hopefully they will have won a game by the time the Yankees face them in mid-September, so they're not riding a very long streak, because when that happens, teams tend to snap out of it. Speaking of long streaks, this is what I wanted to talk to you about with regards to the Yankees and Atlanta. I'll get into the recap of the weekend, but I want to talk about this. So tonight's Yankees-Braves game, where 2 teams enter with at least a 9-game winning streak, will be the 3rd time in Major League history where that's happened. September 7th, 1901 was the last time. the Pirates against the Phillies. The Pirates had won 10 in a row heading into the game, the Phillies 9. It happened again previous to that, September 13th, 1884. The Nationals were riding an 11-game winning streak, and the St. Louis Maroons, I love that, were riding a 12-game winning streak. So, yeah, this is actually a big deal. Just in the way that both teams are on fire. I didn't realize how well, actually, the Braves had been doing. I saw all of that stuff last night, people talking about it. Right now, they are leading the NL East by 5 games over Philadelphia. They're 68-56. They've won 9 in a row. They're 9-1 in their last 10. Same as the Yankees, 9-1 in their last 10. And they've won 9 in a row. The Yankees right now are 4.5 behind Tampa. Boston 7 behind Tampa. So the Yankees are in pretty good position. And as for the wild card right now, the Yankees are in the first wild card spot by 2.5 games. Boston and Oakland are tied. And that's important because after the Yankees leave Atlanta, they only play 2. They're off Wednesday. They play Oakland for 4 games starting on Thursday out in the West Coast. So I don't know if you have to drink coffee to stay up or if you have to change your sleep schedule in order to stay up and watch those games, but that is going to be a very big series between the Yankees and Oakland. And Thursday happens to be my birthday. They had to reward me with a West Coast game. How dare you, schedule makers. Unbelievable. But maybe the Yankees will do me a solid and win on my birthday. They're not historically that good on my birthday, and I might actually tell you all about that on the day of my birthday. Yeah, I've attended some games that they've won, but historically they don't do that well on August 26th, and I don't know why. And this goes back to even before I was born. I had looked this up. I looked all the way back and saw how they did in the 40s and the 30s and the 20s. And yeah, for some reason, historically, it wasn't that great for them. So, what are you going to do? Anyway, so before I get into the recap of the weekend against Minnesota, I'd like to let you know that I share a bed with a Pro Bowl quarterback, an Olympic swimmer, and a national women's soccer star. I should explain. When I heard how many elite athletes sleep on a molecule mattress and call it their best sleep ever, I ordered one for myself, and they were spot on. Now, I'm not an elite athlete. I do Peloton every day. I do some bar and Pilates every once in a while. I also have sleep issues. I usually wake up with a stiff neck or a sore back. I have night sweats. It's not fun. Molecule sleep scientists literally created the world's most perfect mattress. It's unlike any other mattress in a box. It's cool to the touch, which is unlike other foam mattresses. It has 6 times the airflow of my old mattress, so it keeps me cool all night, which for me is great. It has zone reflex layers that adjust with me in all my weird sleep positions. I don't know about you, but I sometimes sleep with my leg all the way out to the side. I know I'm not the only one, but it is a very strange sleep position. And the mattress is antimicrobial. Molecule mattress is how elite athletes and yours truly get the best sleep ever. Sleep on a Molecule mattress risk-free for 100 nights. If you don't have your deepest, most restorative sleep ever, just return it. Visit onmolecule.com and save 20% with our promo code LOCKEDON. Again, save 20% with promo code LOCKEDON at onmolecule.com. Let me tell you, getting a good night of sleep is so important. It really is. That could ruin your week. One bad night of sleep can ruin your entire week, especially if it occurs on a Sunday into a Monday. So yeah, that's a big deal. People don't realize how important sleep is. I know that there are some people who can function on not getting a lot of sleep. I'm not one of those people. I'm really not. I need at least 7 or 8 hours in order to function like a normal human being. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to Yankees beating Minnesota as usual. Poor Minnesota. I mean, really, poor Minnesota. They're not good this year, so it wasn't surprising that the Yankees didn't have an issue with them. But Friday and Saturday were just dominant performances by the Yankees. Speaking of, Nasty Nestor. I think I told you about all the shirts that the guys were wearing, right? With his name on it. Did I? Did that happen? Hold on. Now I don't even know because did that happen over the weekend? I don't know what time is, okay? The pandemic has totally screwed me up. But anyway, all the Yankees pitchers were wearing a nasty Nestor Cortez t-shirt over the weekend and took pictures in them. And I just love that. I love that they're being so supportive of him. They understand what he's brought to the team during this streak that they've had. Not even just the 9-game streak, but overall since July 26th, they've been playing really well. So he pitched, let's see, hold on, I got to get the numbers right. 7 innings. It was his longest outing of the year so far. He just keeps improving, getting better and better. 7 innings, 2 runs on 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. He did give up a home run. No big deal because the Yankees ended up winning that game 10-2 anyway. He gave up the home run to Donaldson in the 6th inning, so it was later on in his performance. Now, the unbelievable thing about Cortez is he's not dominant. I mean, we all know this. We watch him pitch. He's not dominant. He doesn't have crazy spin on his pitches. He's striking guys out with like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. So he's not overpowering people. He just makes them look silly. And I just love these unexpected guys doing things like this. And speaking of unexpected guys doing things, Velazquez. Let's talk about Andrew Velazquez because Saturday for him was a big day. I'll go back into Friday's game, but I have to talk about Velazquez. He hit his first home run of his career in front of his family, including his grandmother, on a nationally televised game. Is that not the best? I mean, really. Not only that, he's from the Bronx. He's been staying with his parents instead of staying in Manhattan. I don't blame him. I wouldn't stay in Manhattan either. It's too expensive. So he's been commuting, or he was during the homestand, from the Bronx, the other part of the Bronx, to Yankee Stadium. And I feel like baseball is that kind of sport where you have the feel-good story about the local kid that does good. I know it's does well, but they always say does good. Anyway, I love that so much. I think it's the greatest. And I adore him. I adore what he's doing for the team. The team recognizes what he's doing. And, it's going to be tough when Gio and Glaber come back to find a spot for him, especially because Tyler Wade is actually playing a lot better. So that kind of makes it tough for the Yankees. But when you think about it, it's better for the Yankees to have too many players than too few. So the fact that they have this surplus of guys that they can bring up and have step in and do good things is a good thing. So good for Velazquez. That was Saturday. Let's get back to Friday just to talk about it. So the Yankees opened up Friday's game scoring 4 runs in the first inning. And it was just one of those, oh, here we go. It's against the Twins. They had no chance. Barnes was the starter. He gave up 7 runs on 8 hits in 5 innings. So they kind of left him there to try. He gave up the home run to... Who hit the home run? Oh, Judge. That's right. Duh. That was the second inning. They didn't hit a home run in the first inning when they scored those 4 runs. Voit hit a home run. LeMahieu, on his bobblehead night, hit a home run. And that was his 8th. In the 8th. 8 in the 8th. Like they do 80s in the 8th. 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 Oh, and not only did the Yankees score double digits, they were 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. That's pretty good for them. They left 7 on base. That's okay. And let's see. So LeMahieu was 2 for 4. He had a good night, and he scored 3 times. Judge was 1 for 4. The one was big. He was, the home run. He scored 2 runs. Voit. Let's talk about Luke Voit. 4 for 5 with that home run. He had a very big night, and he is having he's kind of woken up since he came back. I was there that game against Seattle on the Sunday when he struck out a few times and he kept coming up with a lot of runners on base and nothing was happening. His first at bat was particularly ugly that day against Seattle. Just really late on pitches, so late that he wasn't even making contact. Then a couple of at bats in, he started making contact, even though it wasn't solid. At least he was hitting the ball. And he just needed time to get into a groove. I'm so tempted to sing Madonna, and I won't. Anyway, yeah, Voit had a very big night on Friday night. So 10-2, and the Yankees win the first 2 against Minnesota. Saturday, you pretty much knew the Yankees were going to win. Garrett Cole was pitching. And I know he's been kind of iffy of late, but it's Garrett Cole. Come on. And he did pretty well. 6 innings on the nose, did not give up a home run because he did not give a run at all. He only gave up 5 hits and he walked 1, struck out 6. He struck out Josh Donaldson a couple times, which is hilarious because if you recall, Josh Donaldson made it a point to open his mouth about the sticky stuff and specifically called out Garrett Cole. And ever since then, Cole has been enjoying striking him out. Donaldson questioned a couple of those strikeouts. They were legit strikeouts, especially that first strikeout. He complained to the ump, and it was clear that it was a ball in the zone. So, yeah, let's see. How did Donaldson do that game the rest of the day? Yeah, he was 0 for 4 with those 2 strikeouts. That's too bad. That's just really too bad. Now, the funny thing about Saturday was the Yankees scored 1 run in the second inning, and it was kind of quiet. And then the 5th inning, things blew up, and they scored 5 runs. And Velazquez's home run happened in the 8th inning. He added another run because it was 6-1 at that point, and he made it 7-1. And again, love that story so much. The Yankees were 4 for 12 with runners in scoring positions, so not as good as Friday, but again, 7-1. Cole shut them down. After Cole Leckie came in, he pitched 2 innings, gave up a run. Albert Abreu came in to close the game and struck out 1, and the Yankees win 7-1, and then they didn't play yesterday. So, successful weekend against Minnesota. Now they're in Atlanta. We'll preview that game in a bit. But first, it's time for me, I believe, to talk about Built Bar. Is it that time? Oh, it's that time. Yes, it is. I love Built Bar. I'm telling you right now, I recommend it. And I remember when we first got them as a sponsor, I was wondering how good these things were going to taste. I think I've mentioned this. We discuss Built Bars in our group DM, all the hosts, because we love them so much. There are 9 fantastic flavors: coconut, cherry barcia, raspberry, my favorite, mint brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, strawberry, orange, cookies and cream, German chocolate. You get a mixed box. You get 2 of each flavor. You try them out, figure out what you want, and then you buy your favorites. It's that simple. They're high in protein, low in calories, low in sugar. They're good for you. They taste good. And again, all those amazing flavors. Go to built.com, use our promo code locked on. You'll get 15% off your order. And yeah, aside from mint brownie, double chocolate's good, salted caramel, cookies and cream, German chocolate, coconut is good too. I have to say, if you're not a coconut fan, you don't have to try that, but just try every flavor if you can. Again, use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. It's that time of year again, and all eyes are turning to football as teams are back on the gridiron to start the football season. As always, BetOnline is your number one spot for all the pro and college football action this season. Get all the updated odds, props, and contests, including online's biggest $500,000 NFL mega contest and the world's biggest $200,000 NFL Survivor contest, open now at BetOnline. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 100% welcome bonus. Be sure to take advantage of their opening day super promo. Make a bet on the Thursday, September 9th season opener between the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. And if you lose, your wager will be refunded up to $25 for new customers only when signing up and using promo code NFL100. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports, from football, basketball, boxing, right down to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait and take advantage of all the great offers available for the 2021 season. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. It is amazing that football season is here, or almost here. I know preseason games are happening. Some of them happened yesterday. I watched a little bit of the Giants because the Yankees weren't on, and I can't believe that we're at that point of the season, at that point of the Yankee season, where people are actually paying attention to football. No, you pay attention to baseball until the playoffs are over, and then you pay attention to football. At least that's what I do. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I'll watch football, but I can't pay attention to it until the Yankees are eliminated from the playoffs. And hopefully this year they'll go right through the end of October. That would be great. So tonight's matchup in Truist Park, Atlanta, USA. It's a 7:20 start. So you have some time, eat some dinner, get ready, and get ready to watch the game. So it is Jordan Montgomery against Huascar Ynoa. Yeah. He's 4-2 with a 2.70 ERA in 50 innings. And in his last 7 games, he's 4-2 with a 3.32 ERA. That's in 38 innings on the nose. Now, his last game against the Marlins, he didn't get the decision. He pitched 5 1/3, didn't give up a run, gave up 3 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Now, he picked up the loss. Oh, he was injured for a while, by the way, because his last game before August 17th was against Milwaukee way back on May 16th. And I think this is when they realized he was injured because he only pitched 4 1/3, gave up 5 runs on 9 hits. He walked 2, and he did strike out 6 in those 4 1/3. So he will be pitching for the Braves. He's only 23 years old. He's young. Jordan Montgomery, 4-5 on the year with a 3.77 ERA. That's in 119 1/3 innings. He has 121 strikeouts. So that's a nice ratio there. His last 7 games, he's 1-3 with a 3.13 ERA. Now, those 3 losses are not his fault. Those are the games that either the offense couldn't score or, the offense couldn't score for him. Remember when there was that month-long time where he had no run support at all? His last game against Boston, which was his first time back from the COVID list, 4 2/3, gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, didn't get the decision. And before that was August 1st against the Marlins, 5 innings, 1 run on 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. And then on Wednesday, which is also a 7:20 start, so you have time to cook dinner, make dinner, relax, and then watch the game. It's Andrew Heaney against Charlie Morton. That's another one of those. That might be another one of those matchups where you think, oh no, Morton's going to shut down the Yankees. Heaney's going to give up 5 home runs. And then it turns into a game where you never know. Heaney could have a repeat performance like he did last week against the Red Sox. You never know. Anyway, Morton on the year, 12-4 with a 3.47 ERA and 140 innings on the nose, 164 strikeouts. So yeah, Charlie Morton is a good pitcher, and that's a worrisome matchup. His last game against the Marlins, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. He got the win. The previous start to that was on the 13th against the Nationals, picked up the win, 6 innings. Actually, his last 3 starts, I know how to do 3, 6 innings in each of those starts. He did not get the decision against Washington back on the 7th. He did not give up a run against them, so I guess something happened later in that game. As for Heaney, as I said, he had a good outing his last time out against Boston. Didn't start off that well with that solo home run against Bogarts, and you're thinking to yourself, oh boy, they're going to hit about 10 home runs off him, and then that's all they got. And he lasted 7 innings. That's what the Yankees wanted and needed from him. So that was good. So right now he's 8-8 on the year with a 5.51 ERA. Now he has 135 strikeouts in 116 innings. And I've said this about Heaney. He has good stuff, but when they hit his mistakes, they hit them far, So what are you going to do? As I said, 7 innings against the Red Sox, 1 run on 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He went batter for batter in that the 7th inning of work that he did. And I'm sure the Yankees were kind of sitting like this in the dugout, waiting for him to not screw up, but waiting for him to at least get someone on base. Didn't happen. So yeah, good outing for him. Maybe he's turned a corner. He did look a bit different in that start than he had, obviously, in his previous start when he gave up a bunch of home runs to the White Sox. So, maybe Matt Blake is working with him, and maybe being on the Yankees is kind of firing him up a bit. That sometimes happens. This team is on a big roll right now. It's not even just the 9 wins. Like I said, starting July 26th, this team has just been on a tear. I hope it's not I just hope they're not peaking too soon, because sometimes that does happen with other teams, but I'm kind of hoping they're going on a roll that's going to last through October. That would be wonderful. So to recap, The Yankees beat the Twins, as usual, because that always happens. And let's see. Hold on. I'm hitting the wrong tabs on my computer. I'm sorry. I will get this down at some point. I'm still new to the whole video podcast thing and getting things set up. As you can see, I'm back in my room. And so the Yankees won 3 out of 3 against the Twins, which should have been 4 out of 4, but rain out. And they have the 2 games in Atlanta, off day Wednesday, fly out to Oakland. And by the way, I will be doing a crossover episode with Jason Burke of Locked On A's in preparation for this big series against the A's this weekend. So look out for that. And for now, that's it for this episode of Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'd like to remind you that you can listen to the show in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Odyssey, Spotify, Stitcher, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. And when you get into your car, you can tell your smart device to play podcasts Locked On Bets. Betting on the Yankees doesn't have to be a guessing game if you listen to the new Locked On Bets podcast hosted by your boy Q and handicapping expert Lee Sterling. Get daily picks, blowout specials, wrong team favorite picks, Lee Sterling's lock of the day. Follow the Locked On Bets podcast, brought to you by betonline.ag, wherever you get podcasts. One more thing, if you could be so kind, please rate the podcast and spread the word about this podcast to your fellow Yankee fans. We would really appreciate it. Also, subscribe on YouTube. That would be greatly appreciated. So enjoy your Monday, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.